What's up, people? Welcome back to the Boxing Objective. Today's video is going to be about Deontay,
to this day,
the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, before I start this video, I just want to do a little disclaimer. There could be some subjects in this video that regard some subjects that people are not comfortable talking about. One subject in particular will be race. Now, I am just trying to give you the news as I see it and the news as it stands, so that you guys can see pretty much that regardless of what equality is being fought for out there, in this instance, Deontay Wilder is talking shit. 100% certified grade A shit. Now, it's no secret to the whole world that there is a serious fight for social and racial equality going on out there in the world, and it was put on full display for the whole world to see in 2020. Now, this fight has been going on for hundreds of years. You know that, I know that, everybody knows that. It is no secret, and I would like to think that maybe these days a lot more people take it a lot more seriously. Deontay is a very proud American black man who embraces his African heritage and speaks openly about it at every possible opportunity. He even probably fancies himself as a bit of a civil rights activist.
okay.
Now, I'm going to refer to the first interview that Deontay Wilder did post winning the arbitration. It was for a YouTube channel, which is a pro-Wilder channel by the name of 78 Sports. If you have the time, go back and check out that interview. I think it was about 3 weeks ago or something like that. Now, in this interview, Wilder, as per usual, he comes out with a lot of different, and in one particular instance, he tries to suggest that it was Tyson Fury's white privilege that defeated him that night. Yep. That's pretty much what he was trying to claim. Now, what privilege exactly are you talking about here, Deontay? Because I find it very strange how Tyson Fury only has the privileges that you yourself gave to him. Let me remind you that Tyson Fury wasn't a mandatory challenger for your WBC title when he came back from that long layoff to fight you in the first fight. That was a voluntary title defense that you gave to him. Whether he deserved it or not was irrelevant. You gave Tyson Fury the privilege to fight you. And you want to talk about how you're all for your black people. I want to look after my black brothers and sisters. Well, just over there was a fighter who you could have fought, who just like you has African heritage. And if you had fought him, you would have got a shed load more money, plus you would have been fighting for the heavyweight undisputed title of the world. But no, you don't go and fight him, you go and fight Tyson Fury. Now, why was that? I'll tell you why, Deontay. Because you believed you could beat Tyson Fury. You thought he was finished, you thought he was done. So if you were really about your people and wasn't just cherry picking, then why didn't you go and fight AJ? Or better still, you could have even fought Dillian Whyte. You would have been putting more money into the black community, like you claim to be, you know, so pro-black, but you chose to fight Tyson Fury. So make sense of that, and make sense of how, since you first decided to even call out Anthony Joshua's name, you haven't had a positive word to say about him. You've done nothing but ride off of his coattails and tried to slander the man in the process. Same for Dillian Whyte. You never had a good thing to say about him. So make sense of that. Somebody please make it make sense. Because right now, it sounds to me as if Deontay Wilder is trying to shit in a pot and call it soup.
Do you smell shit? I smell shit.
And I'm not eating it. I don't know about you lot, but I am not eating it. Let me tell you something, right? The one most beautiful thing about sport is that the majority of the time, a person's race has absolutely nothing to do with them representing the team you support or the fighter that you enjoy watching. It has nothing to do with it. Imagine at a football match where all of these people from all different walks of life, all different colours, all different cultures, standing together, united, supporting their team because they all want the same thing, even if it's just for that period of time when they watch that game. and you want to turn around and take that out of this sport for your own financial gain, and your cult-like following are happy to just co-sign on pretty much anything you say, Deontay. And I, for one, feel that it is disgraceful that you would use this injustice that is happening out there in this way. You're trying to make this fight about race when it isn't. So you give Tyson Fury the second fight. He absolutely paints the floor with you. And then you accuse him. We all know what he said, Glovegate, so on and so forth. So I do believe that the second fight happened in Las Vegas under the watchful eye of the Nevada Athletic State Commission. So when you accuse Tyson Fury, you're inadvertently accusing the Nevada State Athletic Commission as well. So how is it that you, a man who was allegedly cheated, has now gone to have a third fight, not just with the man who you say cheated you, but also under the watchful eye of the same commission that was in charge when you made the allegations in the second fight? So how is that? How does that make sense? Again, somebody please just make that make sense for me, because I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. What is Deontay Wilder talking about? Where is it? What? You know what? This is bullshit. Certified in its purest form, bullshit. So it was this week, Jermell Charlo, the current middleweight champion, who just unified the division over the weekend in a hard-fought bout, he chimed in about the whole Glovegate thing. He'd made comments about it previously, but had something to say about it again, what with the third fight on the horizon. And he highlighted the fact that the Nevada State Athletic Commission puts plenty of things in place to prevent anything like this happening, to protect the fighters. Now, he also said that it wasn't about race. And this comment was completely taken out of context by Deontay Wilder and his cult-like fans. And of course, he had a lot to say. And I'm going to play you a clip from the interview. I'm also going to play a clip with Jermell Charlo's rebuttal.
About the complexion for the Texan, Jermell chimed in and he says, race doesn't matter.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ain't had to come back and say nothing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people tore his ass up and they still tearing his ass up. Race matter in everything. Single thing that we do. Do he understand how many fighters paved the way for his black ass? For him to have the chance that he have? Don't think about how many people that got hung, how many babies that got stolen from their parents and fed to crocodiles to get the crocodile skin. How many people need raises, but they give this other complexion that's starting new already a higher salary than you, and you've been there for 6 years. Right. Stupid bitch. And I'll tell that to his face, because they know a real one. See, I'm a real one. I stay back, I sit back, don't say much, let these fools run their mouth, but keep that same energy when you see a king in your presence.
Mel, real quick, Mel, you're a boxing brain, so obviously your opinion is valued. What do you make of this trilogy fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? What does Wilder have to do to avenge his loss?
Well, first and foremost is admitting to his mistakes that he done in that fight. I have no problem with Wilder. I actually like Wilder as a fighter. I like Wilder as a puncher. I like Fury as a boxer. And I'm not here to be biased about anything. I made a mistake the other day and I said race don't matter. I said race don't matter, but they took it and said, oh, race don't matter throughout the world. Like, no, I was talking about in that particular fight. I was talking about, like, why does race matter during that fight? Now, race matters, of course, because you're judges and you can go statistical about everything, but race, like he said he was chocolate, and because he was chocolate and he lost the fight, I just thought that was like bogus, you know.
Didn't you reference like skills pay the bills?
I did reference skill pay the bills. I don't know if people seen that, but if skills pay the bills, why are we speaking on, like, I'm fighting a European, you know? And that Ray Wilder wanted to slap me, like I was smoking his bitch ass.
So there you go. I mean, you gotta keep it real. You cannot mess around with subjects like that. The history is horrendous. I mean, we all know what happened. We all know what happened. But for you to put that kind of spin on it is just unacceptable, you know? Yeah, we're all in a fight for equality to some degree, be it racial or otherwise, but we're all in some sort of fight. And unfortunately, the ethnic minorities are going through a terrible time, as they always have throughout history. But for you to put that spin on it is just wrong. It's just completely wrong. You had nothing to say at the press conference about all these allegations, but yet, you know, you've had plenty to say to all the pro Wilder channels afterwards. And, you know, you're talking all of this shit, and you're about to go into the third fight with the man that battered you brutally. So I don't know, man. You want to go ahead and make it worse for yourself? Hey, be my guest. But when that bell rings on the third fight, I guarantee you, race is going to have nothing to do with what happens. But hey, people, that's pretty much all I got to say about this subject. I really appreciate you guys showing the community the support that you have thus far. I'd also appreciate if you was to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. I might post again this week because some of the people in the objective community have asked me to cover a few subjects. Also, there's a few fights coming up this weekend that I want to talk about. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.